So, grand rising loungers. I hope everybody is doing as great as I am today. Shout out to all of you. Okay. Make sure that you guys do hit the like button on the way in and make sure that you do subscribe and make sure that you share out the show too. That way, everybody knows that we are live and that we are talking about this. Listen, guys, there's been a lot of chatter lately in regards to spanking of children and whether or not that's appropriate, and whether or not this is something that we should be doing or something that we should have been doing with our children at some point. Okay. The reason why this conversation has come up, as everybody knows, or everybody in the sector knows, is because Darrell was accused, his wife was accused of abuse of one of their children when they were younger. Okay. When the child was like 5 or something. The child is now like 27 or 26, okay, and has a very good relationship with both of her parents, including her father and mother, and has made that very clear. But, of course, with the sector being the way that it is, they always want to try to spin narratives and talk about different things. And, Darrell is not giving them the time of the day. And I don't blame him. Like I said, I don't think he owes anybody an explanation about his wife or, about anything concerning any of that. YouTube is literally a space where people talk about people all the fucking time. Okay. So, at the end of the day, if somebody's talking about somebody, I don't know why, if something happened with somebody in their family, that somehow is supposed to stop them from talking about other people. Okay. But, that's not the case. YouTube is full of people that do that. And, we're not going to pretend with that. But either way, I didn't come on here today to really talk about all that. I came on here today to discuss spanking because I meant to talk about this yesterday, but got distracted with the whole thing that was going on with breaking the culture of lies. Okay. So, but I'm over that. I'm not going to keep going back and forth over that. I definitely left that video up. Okay. Because there's a little more people that are aware of her. And, and the lies she told, she's just not going to get away with that. So I did leave that video up for a little while, but eventually I will private that video as well. But for now, I plan on leaving it up for you guys' enjoyment, okay? But either way, today we're going to discuss spanking, okay? What the law in the U.S. has to say about it, how there are different laws even in different states, but there are some actual statutes in regards to this. And, and what that means and what it doesn't. Okay. Also, I do have some type of case number for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to attempt to look for that case number and see if it's actually a case number or if it is something. And if it is, then it is. But I'm going to look for it just to see if it's actually true. I don't want to see this document or any of that stuff. I want to see it from an authentic source. From a website, a government website. And so I'm going to see if that actually exists today. And we're going to do that live while we're here. But in the meantime, you guys just sit back and relax and chill because we are actually about to get right into the show. What's happening, Woo Chow and Queen Shay? I appreciate both of you guys for being in the building. And peace to the loungers, everybody that is in the clouds. So the first thing I want to talk about is actual spanking of kids, right? Is it something that is against the law? Is it something that is a crime? And when does it become a crime if it is a crime, right? So let's look it up. I'm going to go ahead and look that up on my phone. I'm looking up spanking now. You guys can do the same thing while we're doing this up. And let's see what the law has to say about this. So it says the law also states that parents cannot cause physical injury, which is defined as any impairment of physical condition or pain. Physical injury has been interpreted by the authorities as leaving a mark, quote unquote. Put simply, and this is for Delaware, okay? Delaware law states that you may spank your child for punishment but cannot leave a mark or cause harm to the child or cause injury to the child. Okay. So there is laws in place that protect children from child abuse. Okay. Now, I was very appreciative last night that there was an attorney that was in my chat that was also discussing this, and what she said was one of her there was clients that she has seen that has been accused of child abuse when it turns out that it was an accident. Okay, after there was an investigation done, and so forth, and even though the parent was initially charged, they would later drop it and realize that it was an accident that happened with that child. So those things happen as well. Okay, where a parent is falsely accused of child abuse. Okay, and then because the child has a mark or whatever the case may be, and then turn around and it turns out later that the case was dropped because it was an actual accident. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to go back into my archive, because when I saw this video on AAS's channel, I took a picture of it because I wanted to see before. I didn't know if she was going to take it down. I didn't know what she was going to do. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to take a picture of it because I wanted to go back and reference it later and see whether or not this video or this case number was actually real. Okay, because nobody so far has bothered to look into that. All I've heard was a bunch of trolls just kind of yelling and screaming and jumping up and down with this fake and false outrage, like they really care, right? Like their parents didn't spank them, right? Or like, something didn't happen, that they saw in their lives. But either way, we're going to go ahead and look at this real quick. But bear with me one moment while I pull up my gallery, because I don't know where I did with that. Hold on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a quick timer for you guys while I'm looking for that. Okay, again, make sure that you guys hit the like and the subscribe on the way in. All right, guys. So I did find this letter. So what it is it's a bail bond, right? and the charge was allegedly child charges injury child under 15 bodily injury. Okay, so what it is which is a serious charge, obviously, and if something like that was happening, that would be crazy. But here's the thing about it. There's a lot of like questions about this because it's not an actual case from a court. Okay. This is from an alleged bail bondsman. Okay. With all these different things on it and all this stuff. And it makes me wonder where AAS got a hold of this. Okay. And how she got a hold of this. Because just because somebody was bonded out of jail for something or somebody was arrested for something doesn't mean they were actually convicted of a situation, right? They could have been charged, like the attorney said last night. This could have really simply been a case of an accident, because the child was saying that this didn't actually happen, and so forth, and they're trying to claim that the child lied about it and all this stuff. There's plenty of cases where the state has something wrong, okay, and they don't know what they're talking about, and there has to be an investigation. So what I'd like to see, right, is whether or not with this case number that is on here, and mind you, this says page 2. This doesn't even have page 1. So this says page 2. I'd like to see the page 1, right? And then I'd also like to look up the actual case, because I'm interested in seeing whether this case was closed, whether this case was dropped, right? What the outcome, or if there was an outcome of the case and so forth. And I'm just interested in seeing how that would go. So right now what I'm on is, and I'm going to share my screen, that way you guys can kind of see for yourselves what I'm looking at here. So bear with me just a moment while I do that. Hey, the Pink Estate, I appreciate you being in the building. You said the infamous bail bondsman, child. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm sharing my screen now. And we're going to go ahead and look at this, because we're going to look at this together. Because like I said, people don't just get to say and do whatever they want to do around here without actual facts and without actual evidence, okay? So right now what we're on is the Harris County District Clerk's Office, okay? This is where you can find civil, family, criminal, any type of records and court documents in regards to these cases here in Harris County in Texas, okay? This is where they're at. This is where they're saying this is out of. So let's look into it, all right? So this would fall under criminal. And I'm going to go ahead and click on criminal. It says, in order to better protect court documents, we now require you to have a registered login with our site. All public case information is still available to everyone once they log in and can be viewed free of charge. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do the login process. And I'll just finish out that timer for you guys while I'm doing that. Okay, so bear with me one moment while I go ahead and do a quick login process. I just don't want you guys to see my personal information. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this finished. Okay, but mind you, we are going to look into this, because people are not going to just get to say and do whatever they feel like it around here, and we don't have any pushback. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this for you. All right, guys. So we are in. Okay. So let's go ahead and get in here. I was able to get it registered successfully. So now we are going to go ahead and take a look and see if we can find this case. Now, I'm going to give you guys the case number as well because I got the case number from the picture that the image that I took from AAS's screen. Okay. The case number, according to this bail bondsman form, is 1100702. Okay. There's also a SBI number, which I'm assuming is the prison number or whatever. But this case number would be the number that should be connected to the courts. Okay. So what I'd like to do is go into this again. Let me go back and find where I saw this. So we're going to go to criminal. That's what it was. Okay. And then we're going to go to the criminal courts, I believe it is. Okay. We're going to search our records. All right. And we're under civil and family. We will go there too, but I'm thinking we need to do the criminal part of it first because this should be a criminal case. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this in 1100702. Okay. And let's click search and let's see what comes up. So it says there is a 1 of 1, State of Texas versus Latasha Spears. Okay. And it has the status is that the disposition is disposed. And yeah, there's also another one, but this was for somebody else. But this one is hers right here. Okay. It was filed on 1/18/07, but the defendant is disposed and the disposition is disposed. So let me go ahead and take a look at what we're going to take a look and see what that means. Okay. Let's go ahead and Google that. What does disposed mean in a court case? We're going to just look this up, okay, and what this all means. It says the disposition on a criminal record is the current status or final outcome of an arrest or prosecution. Common dispositions are convicted, which means you have pled or been found guilty by a court of law. Acquitted means you have been found not guilty by a court of law in a criminal trial. So what does disposition mean? What are common dispositions? And we're going to go ahead and look of that. It said, what does disposed of mean in legal terms? The court procedure saying that the case has been disposed means that it has been closed. A case can be disposed for many reasons. In some cases, the case can never be reopened. In other cases, the case can be reopened under certain circumstances, such as the discovery of new evidence. Okay. So guys, this case with D. Durrell's wife, right? Which, by the way, like I said, here we go. I'm going to share this screen again, which, by the way, is a case you can look up yourself right on Harris County. Okay. This case has been closed. There is no conviction on this case. Okay. This right here would say that she had been convicted if she was convicted. She was not convicted. So again, that lie that you guys are telling about this man's wife has been debunked that fast. Now, let's open it. Let's go ahead and open it because, people like to say, oh, you weren't looking at it. You weren't really looking at the case. We're looking at it. So we're going to do the summary of the case first. Okay. We're going to take a look at this whole thing and we're going to see what the outcome was. Okay. So the case is completed. It was allegedly the assault on a family member. Last instrument file was felony information, but the case was disposed. It was closed. Okay. Closed. There is no case. There was no conviction. There was no nothing. Okay. And then you can go into everything that happened here. Like I said, there was no, we're under the criminal history of this. The criminal file says that the case was closed. This was not founded, guys. Okay? There was no finding of child abuse on the part of this parent. Bottom line. Let's go ahead and see if there was any appeals on this case. No appeals were found. Okay? Check the bonds. The bond was what we already saw, okay, which was that paperwork that AAS produced, but failed to produce what I'm producing today, okay? And then we looked at activities. Let's look under activities here. And this is exactly how this case ended, okay? It started off with this. Let's go all the way down. So on January 8th, the probable cause found, okay? And then on the 18th, it was probable cause found status, and then acknowledged by sheriff. And then it continued on, no contact with the child. And it continued on until this case was adjudicated and terminated on February 27th, 2009. This was the judgment, okay? Why is it that that particular part of this doesn't come up when the trolls are trying to talk about this story? Okay? How come that particular part of this judgment and this situation is not coming up? But I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. Let's go into bookings and holdings. No records found. Okay? Criminal history. Again, this is the only thing that's there. And that was closed, disposed. There's a judgment that says it. Okay? Under here, no witnesses records are found. Okay? And then we're under, and now mind you, we are on Harris County. Okay? Here's the parties that are involved. This is the defendant. This is the bail bondsman. This is the defense attorneys. Okay? And this is the outcome. All right? That were the active parties. Let's check on inactive parties because, you guys want to see everything. There is no inactive parties, okay? Let's check out if there's any restitution. No restitution found, okay? Nope, the case was closed, all right? And then this is kind of the settings of the case and the things that happened during this, the motions that were granted, the adjudications that were present, all this other stuff. Or the adjudications that were granted, all these other things, okay? Now, let's go to the court registry, all right? No records found. This may be because the account related to the case is inactive. The reason is because the case was closed. She was not found guilty, okay? She was not found guilty, all right? Now, let's go ahead and go into any related cases. If Darrell has any cases, if she has any other cases, because you guys want to be overly scrutinizing a woman who, who was accused of something falsely in the past, okay? No records found. Does she have any aliases where this could possibly have happened, under a different name? Nope, doesn't, okay? And then, is there a payment plan because she has restitution? No, there isn't, okay? And finally, this is just the images, which would be, hold on, okay. This would be pretty much the disposition and the orders that came after the entire case was closed. What I'm gonna do is pull this final disposition, which is affecting, or the deferred adjudication of the case. Okay, I'm going to pull that order from the judge and we're going to take a look at what was said. So here we go. Let me see if I can enlarge this because, see, this is the real information that, AAS is not sharing, right? When she's trying to release the Kraken on Darrell, okay? Well, here's the truth, all right? Because this is exactly what actually came out in the end, okay? Now, it says the adjudication of guilt deferred. Defendant placed on community supervision. And then let's go down a little bit further. Otherwise, under title of penal codes involving family violence. record having heard the evidence submitted to the court finds such evidence substantiates defendant to guilt. The court finds that this case caused by best interest. I can't even read this. It's kind of hard to read. Okay. So it looks like there was some conditions that were placed on the case, and that there was that the judge had put some conditions on this actual place, probably because it was a child involved, but they did not find her guilty of this. Okay, the case was dispositioned and it was closed, and yeah, that's exactly what happened in this situation. It does look like there was things that she had already done in regards to this, just to kind of help along with the situation. Looks like she had to do some classes, parenting classes, that kind of thing. But it's not a felony case. This was not reduced. This was reduced. And this is not a felony case. And yeah, so this case was dispositioned and closed. Okay. That's just the bottom line. And that is exactly what happened in this case. Now, here's the thing that I'm having an issue with AAS and this situation. I think I said this yesterday, but I really want to talk about, spanking kids, right? And if people do this or not, right? Have I ever spanked my kids? I most definitely have, right? I've never caused them harm, per se, but I've definitely spanked my kids before. Kids have different personalities and different situations, different circumstances happening, right? That kind of cause them to go through different things that they do. I'm sorry, was I sharing that at any time, guys? I apologize. I don't know if I shared that at all, if you guys were able to see the screen or not. I do apologize if I wasn't sharing it. Hopefully you guys did see it though. But either way, you said that's crazy. Breaking said that lady pleaded guilty last night. Thank you. She lies. Breaking the culture be lying her ass off and don't be knowing. And then she got the nerve to be lying about somebody else's, parenting, when really she is the one that doesn't even have custody of like 2 out of 4 of her kids. Like, that's the crazy part. And even the custody part of the other 2 kids is questionable too. So she don't have any room to be giving anybody parenting advice. But the bottom line is, I think most of us have been raised in a household where, discipline was a thing. Okay. I've only met maybe a couple of people on here. I think I met one. I know Living Life. Shout out to her. She lives over in the UK. She said her parents did not practice spanking of the kids in their household, but her friends did. A lot of her friends felt envious of her, because they didn't get spanked. But it works for some families. It works for some kids. But you can't there really is no one size fits all for raising children. Okay. Every child, and this is coming from me as a mother of 6 children and who has successfully raised 5 of them up to this date. And the other one is still growing up. Shout out to my 14-year-old. But either way, the bottom line is children have different personalities and different things going on, right? And different circumstances happening. So there's absolutely no way that you can say that if I do this with this child, this will also work with that child, right? That was one of the things that I think I thought as a parent before I really got into parenting, before I actually became a full-fledged parent. When I was just pregnant with my first child, I had my ideas of what parenting was. I had my ideas of how I would discipline my kids and the things I would do. I was planning on using, the timeout corner all the time and, having a timeout space and, just kind of being one of those parents until you actually become a parent, right? And then kids start doing different things. You know what I'm saying? Kids start acting certain ways and stuff like that. So the case was open back in, hold on, let me go back to that real quick. The case was open in 2007. This child was 5 years old at the time. The child is like 20 something now. Like, okay, that's the crazy part about it. Okay, you guys did see it, good. Yeah, that case was open. It was open for about almost 2 years. It closed in 2009. But the case was opened in 2007. That's how long ago the case was, and that's how old this child that they're talking about is now. Okay, the child actually watches the sector. She actually watches some stuff in the sector. She does her own YouTube stuff as well. And Darrell and his wife have very good relationship with their children. So the case was closed. That's just the bottom line. Hey, Miss Murph, I do appreciate you for being in the building. You're saying hey to Pink Estate. Um, yeah, but breaking lies, and people will learn that about her over time. You'll see that, you have to kind of see for yourself that that girl will fucking lie, and she don't know how to keep up with her stories. As a matter of fact, I was going to do, and I am going to do this eventually, when I have time. I just don't have time right now. But I did go over to Daryl Moore's channel and try to pull up all the videos that he has of breaking. There's a lot of them. There's a whole lot. So what I'm gonna do is just do a I'm probably gonna do a little um what do they call it? I don't know what word I'm looking for right now. I'm getting tongue tied, but we're going to watch these videos together. Okay. I think I'm going to do it on the Black Lounge back room. I really don't want to do it here because I just don't want to give her that much airtime. But I am going to go to the Black Lounge back room and do that and just kind of showcase Daryl Moore's videos on breaking the culture because there's a lot of them. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that she tries to come over to this sector and try to be a chameleon and change herself and change her identity and pretend that these things aren't fact, right? And these things are a fact. I kind of wish that a couple other people still had videos of her up. But there's Daryl Moore has the bulk of these videos. There are some other people that have talked about her too. But they've privated those videos. They've put those videos up. But she is very much hated on these YouTube streets. I don't know why she's trying to pretend that she's not. But either way, yeah, that's the case with her. You said good morning to Miss Murph as well. Hey, Alan, I appreciate you being in the building. You said good morning, T Pre in chat. You said AMS needs to release the crack rock. Okay, fuck the crack in. She needs the crack rock. She need to get rid of that. You said she needs to find out if that can be sealed since there was no conviction. Facts. I agree to that because now, it's just kind of floating out in the public and dumb bitches like AAS, will try to pull that up and make it like as if it's factual and then try to put it out to the public as such, right? Give you these little bail bondsman papers and stuff like that. Shout out to Photon. I know he was trying last night. Y'all know he be trolling and saying the most and stuff like that. But even he knows, if there is an actual mugshot of you, that means you have been arrested. That means you were charged with something. They don't just go and put you in jail and do a mugshot of you and they haven't told you what you're being charged with. Okay. They definitely will tell you you're being charged. You know that you're being picked up, right? You have the right to remain silent. They read in Miranda rights, or at least at the time they were, right? I know that there's this new thing. I haven't had Miranda rights read, so I don't know. Knock on wood, right? But there was a time where they were reading Miranda rights to you, and then they would take you to jail, right? So that's kind of the whole process. It's not like they just come and pick you up, do mug shots, and you're not asking questions. Clearly, you got charged with something, okay? But a charge is not the same as a conviction, okay? She would have had to be convicted, and that disposition would have said exactly that. It would have said conviction right here. It would have said that conviction. It doesn't say that. It says disposed. That's what it says. Case was closed. Bottom line. So when you guys are talking shit about people and putting information out about people, make sure that you show the facts, right? Make sure that you show the actual evidence because that's not what you actually did. Okay. You actually went out. Hey, Speakeasy. Hold on. Let me get to your comment in a second. That's not what you did. You put out a bunch of bullshit. You put out a bunch of lies. Okay. And that wasn't true. But I got the balls to show you motherfuckers what the facts are. Okay. I got the balls to prove to you motherfuckers what the facts are. Okay. And the bottom line is anti-Afro Svengali is a lying cunt of a bitch. Okay. She will keep going around lying about people, making up stuff about people, and she does not know what she's talking about. Okay. That is the bottom line. She is treacherous. She will lie. Shout out to Darrell. I appreciate that. Up, niggas about to be mad again. Here go a $399.99 super chat from Darrell. Truly appreciate that, brother, for the super chat. You said appreciate you giving the truth. A response is coming for all they asses. Now, shout out to the true godfather of the sector. Okay. No, he's not running from you dusty bitches. Okay. No, he does not have to. But again, he does not owe you niggas an explanation about anything. That's just the bottom line. He doesn't. He does not owe you guys an explanation about this stuff. But the truth is the truth. The facts are the facts. And you can't go away from the facts. You can't move away from the truth. Okay. You can look up the truth on your own and show for yourself what happened. The case was closed. That's just the bottom line. So AAS, you got some explaining to do. You definitely got some explaining to do. Speakeasy, you said, if you don't think kids need a whooping, okay, a pain compliance from time to time, don't get mad when the police do it for you. Thank you, Speak. You know, shout out to Speakeasy. This is a true Black father, okay? Like, I wish these sons, I'm so proud. I'm telling y'all, I'm so proud that I might have had to whoop their ass a couple motherfucking times. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't have to do it much, but I might have had to. And it's because I had to keep them motherfuckers in line, okay? I had to let them know I'm not playing with them. And one thing for sure and two things for certain, every single one of my kids vouched for me on that. They vouched for me in knowing that I was tough on them at times because I had to be. I kept them niggas out the street. None of them ever sold drugs. None of them ever been in trouble with the law. None of them ever been into gangs. None of them ever been in no bullshit because their mother handled her business for her kids, okay? And I successfully raised them. They are in college. They have their own places. They have their own jobs. They are taking care of their mental health. They are taking care of their business. They are handling their business. And they don't ask me for shit. That's a motherfucker shit. Let me pat myself on the back. I think I did a damn good job with my kids. And guess what? I spanked my kids. Okay? I did. I spanked my motherfucking kids. I sure did. I didn't abuse my kids, but I absolutely spanked them. And I raised my kids. Nobody else raised my kids but me. Okay? Me. Okay? When their dad died, it was me. Me. Not nobody else. Okay? Like me. Yes, my mother held me down. My mother helped out with a whole lot of stuff. And that was, especially for the first couple of years afterwards. But at this point, nah, honey, I did that I did that. I look back and be like, shit, girl, you did that. And be proud of that shit. So yes, Speak, I agree. Shout out to you. You said, shout out to Photon for putting that work in yesterday. He definitely did. I will say Photon put in about a good 8 or 9 hours on the sector. And but Photon be out here, spinning narratives and different shit. And then he'll go back and forth between the show just to keep the show going. It's funny at this point. You get used to Photon and just don't even pay him no mind. You said you should do a receipt show of debunking all her lies. She lied so much yesterday. She said her mom was so great that she gave her away. Right. Like that's the manipulation that this dumb bitch be doing. You know what I mean? She'll say stuff like that. But Breaking the Culture definitely told the sector. I remember her saying it at least one time on my channel. She said it several times on hers and in other places too. I just have to go fishing for it. But she definitely said that her mom was on crack, okay, and gave up all 12 of her and her brothers and sisters. The state took them because her mother couldn't take care of them. That's what she said. I know y'all remember that shit. But she thinks that, she's like AAS. She tries to rewrite history and pretend that she didn't just say something last week. That's literally what that girl does. But again, shout out to Darrell for the super chat. You said, woo, you. You said, hey, D. Darrell. You said, D. Darrell, you know that's going to be screenshotted. You know it. And don't nobody care because that's what these niggas do. You said, oh, Lord, here we go. Folks finna to be big mad today. Okay. You know it, child. Niggas be big mad in this sector when people get that money. But hey, I appreciate it. And shout out to Darrell because he know I'm speaking truth, right? You said, hey, T-Pre, get it, get girl. You said they big mad. Facts. I had Shakim did a video yesterday, like a whole 15-minute video. He stopped work. Okay. He said he had to stop what he was doing at work to give this video to y'all. Like, why did he give her $200-300? Why would he do that? Like what the fuck? Why would he do that? I don't understand. He could have gave that to me. I'm like, what? Yo, these niggas is crazy. You said, D. Darrell, I questioned them last night, and Breaking was lying through her teeth. Child, that girl kept lying. Like, she lies so fucking much. It's not even funny. Like, I don't even know if I've ever seen anybody in this sector. Like, we know people be spinning narratives and telling lies and stuff, but not to the level that she be doing, right? Like, she be making up egregious lies and know it's a lie. Everybody like looking at her like, we know you're lying, right? And she still would like, no, let me tell you guys, and just still like will continue the lie no matter what pushback she's getting, no matter what anybody's saying. They're trying to tell her like, girl, drop the receipts. Can you show us the evidence? And she's just like, no, but just believe me. You know what I mean? And everybody's just supposed to believe this dusty bitch. Like, girl, I am very much looking forward to your response to them too. You said, oh, well, let them screenshot. Okay. Let them screenshot that shit. And I'm going to make sure it's up too. You said, hey, Darrell, fuck these hating ass niggas. Facts. You said, I was never whooped and I turned out okay. Exactly. And there's plenty of people that haven't, right? I know that. So you're I think the second person in the sector now that said the same. Living Life said the same thing. That her and her brothers and sisters were not whooped. They turned out fine. And again, it depends on the child, right? I think it depends on what is necessary for that particular child. I just can say that because I have 6 kids. I have 3 boys and 3 girls. Every single one of them have different personalities, have different needs, different things that they did in school, different things that they didn't do. Some I had to motivate more than others. Some I really didn't have to motivate at all. You know what I mean? And different things like that. There's just different things and different ways that you have to treat children. There's some kids I had to discipline more than I had to discipline the others, right? There was some children that I had to speak to more than I had to speak to with others. I got more phone calls from teachers and different things from more than I did from others, right? So, like I said, children aren't a one size fits all. It's not like you can say, oh, corporal punishment just absolutely doesn't work for any kids, right? You can't say that, right? And then you can't say that, if you don't spank your kids, that's the right answer too. It's not always the right answer. I think parenting is individual for each child and each parent and each household. And shout out to those that recognize that, and that I really do understand that. You said, why do they not do their own fact checking? Okay, because they don't want to fact check around here. In this sector, facts are not, what's supposed to be the norm. It's supposed to be the lies and stuff, because it used to be. It's not like that anymore, but it used to be where you can tell a bunch of lies about somebody and it was just believed and everybody just kind of went with whatever was said. It's no longer like that, right? People are requiring you and asking you to show receipts of the stuff you say. You don't get to just say and do whatever you want anymore, right? And, now, so they still think they're in a world where they don't have to be fact checked. They can just say what they want and everybody's going to run with it. But that fast, we were able to debunk that lie. You said, we know how many people have been falsely accused. Facts. That is fact. You said, I do believe our people were conditioned through slavery to believe beatings, pain resolves behavioral issues. Just my opinion. I hear you. And I think there is some truth to that. But I also do believe that children are disciplined because they need to be at times. And again, Black people aren't the only people that discipline their children. White people beat their kids too. They spank their kids. Indian people spank their kids. Hispanic people spank their kids, right? Um, and some people can argue that it happens more in Black families than it does in other families. That's up for debate. Definitely up for debate. I don't know if any of us would ever really know that as true or not. But what I hate to do is put things and situations and circumstances only on the Black community and only on the Black family, because that's not the truth, right? I do believe, yes, that we were taught that abuse is okay, but I don't. I think there's a fine line, right? I think there's definitely a fine line, and each parent has to find that fine line. They have to find, that groove that they can get into, and that's comfortable, and also is lawful, and also is protective of their children. And that means different things for different people. So I can agree with you and disagree at the same time. You said Al Lanier should be ashamed of abandoning his daughter. I seen you put that on your community wall this morning, that Breaking the Culture is his long lost daughter, and he let that hoe loose on these streets. That's a damn shame, Al Lanier. You need to go get your daughter out here. Because we all know Breaking the Culture don't really know who her father is. Her mother was a crackhead that literally gave birth to 12 children and lost all 12 of them at different times, by the way, to the fucking state, okay? But yet her mother is this great person. Everything she tried to say about me as a mom, it's her mom. She's the crackhead. She's a prostitute. She lost all her kids, and her kids are fucked up in the head because of her. Like, everything she tried to say about me is her. Like, literally her. It don't make no goddamn sense. And I still don't know why she feel all this emotion towards me. I guess she's jealous. I don't know. She want to be me. You said also it's mandatory to report in school. So it could have been a standard procedure until Exactly. This is what I was thinking. That the school saw a mark on her, and the school contacted the authorities and did their due diligence in doing what they were supposed to what they're mandated to do, and the authorities got involved, and there was an investigation, and through discovery they found that there was no abuse, and they closed the case. Okay. They also showed during that time, during the 2-year process of this investigation, that the defendant was actually working with the courts. Okay. She was like, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do some parenting classes and all this other, I'll do all that stuff, not a problem. And then in the end, they ended up saying, no, there's not enough evidence to convict her of a crime. There just isn't, and we're closing this case. And that's exactly what happened. But again, AAS and them would like y'all to believe that she was convicted of all this. And now all the trolls are sitting around having these discussions like as if this shit is fact. Okay. But yeah. You said, Al Lanier has a daughter? No, that was a joke. That's a joke that that Alan was saying about Breaking the Culture. You said folks counting pockets. Child, they be out here counting pockets out here. You said, Alan, you sure? I wasn't aware that Al has you know what? You said the pink estate. I agree. Mm-hmm. You said breaking childhood caused her overactive imagination. Yep. The childhood that she had. That's kind of like the Legina Gold syndrome that we're seeing, right? With Legina having this traumatic childhood that she had, she now has tried to fantasize her parents, right? And say that her parents are these great, wonderful people. Her mother is Aaliyah, and her father is R. Kelly, and those are who her parents are, and she has this elaborate story. Breaking the Culture story about her mother literally reminds me of that, where she's trying to put her mother on this pedestal and make her mother like she's this grand woman and this wonderful woman. And she did such an honorable thing by giving up all 12 of her children to the state, right? That was so honorable of her mom. Like, this girl is delusional, okay? And clearly she's suffering from, what's that called? Munchausen syndrome or some shit. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, it's clear that that's what's happening, and that she's kind of fantasizing her childhood, and like everything was so perfect, but she forgot the stories that she's already told the public, in regards to her childhood, and who her mother really was, and what really happened with her mom. You said I was a good kid. My siblings got whooped though. Okay. And see, that's how it is. It's like some kids in the household, like I've had to I have six of them. So I've had to discipline some of them more than I've had to do others, right? It's because of their behavior. I had one child, one of my daughters was such a hothead, right? Like she had, I mean, it was crazy. It was some stuff I've had to deal with her and the schools and other things that, but she turned out just fine. She turned out just fine. I've had to get in that ass a couple times, right? But she literally turned out perfectly fine. She's doing wonderful. She's almost 19, never had any kids, never been pregnant, contrary to popular belief that even though Breaking the Culture is trying to say I had this daughter that was 16 and pregnant because I wasn't taking, no, baby, that's your mom. Okay. That's your mom. None of my kids have ever had any kids. None of my kids have ever been pregnant. None of my kids have ever had any women pregnant. None of that shit. You don't know what you're talking about, bitch. No, that's your mother. That's your mother that did that. But yeah, so it all depends on the child, right? You said the self-deluded are the best liars because they actually believe their own fuck shit. Okay, that's the crazy part about it. She actually is telling these stories to y'all about her mom and about her alleged dad, who clearly her mom don't know who her dad is. Okay, allegedly all this stuff she's claiming. Yeah, her mom literally doesn't know who her dad is, and she believes these stories that her mom is this wonderful person that nobly gave up all 12 of her kids and died in the process while her kids were in foster care. She died as a crackhead. Okay, like let's keep it a bean breaking. Your mom died as a fucking crackhead and as a prostitute. Your mother was a prostitute who had 12 children. Okay, all 12 of her children were taken from her because she was a crackhead. Okay, and given up to the state, and the children were all raised in different places. Some of the children were raised by family, but you and your light-skinned sister, the white children, were raised by a different family. Y'all were raised in Ohio with an adoptive family. Okay, the other children stayed in New Jersey and they lived with different family members. So they had the privilege of staying with some family where Breakin and her sister, which we don't know if they don't have the same dad. She said they don't have the same dad. Breakin and her sister, which were the two light-skinned kids, they were placed in foster care. So that's what happened in her case. And yeah, she has lied so many times about that. She actually believes the lies she tells. That don't make no goddamn sense. You said it was very sick and twisted what she was saying about you. I wonder why she kept repeating that. It's because she's demonic. Because she's literally demonic. And for some reason, she thinks that she can just say stuff and the sector is just going to believe her, No, no, I was molested and touched. I was touched. I wasn't penetrated or any of that. I was being touched at 2 or 3. I was about 3 years old, close to that. Like I said, I have a very keen mind from that time frame. I can remember a lot of things from that time frame. I remember being on Dumbo. I remember going to Florida. I remember being, hanging out with my uncles and my aunts and stuff, my little cousins, my bigger cousins. I remember all that stuff when I was a little kid, right? It just happened to be so that that particular thing was so traumatic to me that I suppressed that memory in the back of my mind until it came back to me when I was an adult, right? So for her to be saying that my mom was sex trafficking me to my grandfather and that, he got me pregnant with my children, like that is sick. That is in her head, right? Doesn't that, put a 1 in the chat if that speaks about the craziness in that girl's mind. Put a 1 in the chat if that speaks to the crazy and deranged, mental condition of this woman. For her to not only be talking about and claiming that she's an advocate for children, also not taking care of her own children, but then sitting here and making fun of the sexual abuse of a child, right? How does that make any goddamn sense whatsoever? And then making up the story as you're going along. You're not even putting actual facts and evidence into it. You're telling stories. You're telling a lie about it. And making up these lies and putting this demonic energy out as if this demonic energy won't succumb to you and won't encompass you. Okay, like that's literally what you do when you're a low level witch like that. You end up putting stuff in the universe which ends up returning to you in some way, whether it's your family members or whether it's you. But that's what's going to happen because you're a low level witch and you're putting out negative energy for something that's unnecessary, right? When you're doing that kind of stuff, you got to have a reason. You can't just be out here just doing it because you don't like somebody or because you're jealous of someone, okay? Because like I said, that energy will return. And that's exactly what's happening to her. And that y'all kind of saw that in real time last night. You saw her drunk, talking crazy, talking out the side of her mouth because her negativity has returned to her. And that's just unfortunate for her. But yes, it was disgusting. And again, it speaks to, it definitely speaks to her. And it speaks to what's going on in her mind. You said so true about differences with children. And that's facts. I'm just saying. You said the white man is where it was learned from. And that is true. That is true. You said we won't know too many people on earth. Okay. Okay. I'm just saying. You said, Miss Murph, my daughter is a Taurus. I have to outthink her. Spankings don't work. But as she got older, I had basically got her to be motivated to see why she should listen to me. And you know what? I'm a Taurus, so I could see how that would work for a Taurus child because that's what I needed too. And my parents did that too. But you got to bring a child to a certain space. You don't, at some point and at some age, of course, spanking becomes a little bit less, and then, you go a little older, you start talking a little bit more as their minds develop, you can reason with them a lot more and, help them to understand and help them to see some things. And those are things and tactics that I've taken on over the years as well. I can't even remember the last time I've had to spank one of my kids. Like, I can't even remember. I know I've had to, but I honestly cannot remember the last time I've had to do that. That's how older they are now. And that's how trained they are and how well-to-do they are. So I can't remember the last time that happened. But yeah, you said Braken's father is an Arabian prince that lives in a high castle. You know it. And he be singing Arabian Nights. From the castle. You know that. You know that. You ain't know. You said, I guess AAS knows she has a following that rides the short bus. She clearly don't even realize that she has a following that rides the short bus, right? Or at least they're being paid under Professor Cupcake. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Y'all need to take a look into Professor Cupcake. That's a white woman, right? I went over to her channel one day just to look into who this chick is and why she's always in this black space, always talking about black people, always has something to say about black people, right? And yeah, come to find out, she over there, this is a whole white woman. A whole white woman literally coming over to, how come she don't go nowhere else? She only be over here and be funding what happens in this sector. Y'all know that. These niggas ain't ever gonna admit to it, okay? But yeah, that's exactly what's going on. You said Braken even tried to say the mother was telling the child to lie. And none of that was in that disposition. None of that was in that case, as y'all can see. Braken just making up any goddamn thing. And I can't wait till Darrell buries that bitch. Because he got a whole lot of motherfucking evidence on that bitch right there. He got a lot of evidence on her. She has no idea. Like, we've been really holding back, honestly, because she's fucking irrelevant, right? We've been really holding back on the shit that we could say about breaking the culture and the people that we can bring into this sector to really bury that bitch and put facts out here about this bitch, right? I've already told y'all about the children and how one of the grandmothers is raising one of the kids. the great grandmother is raising the oldest child, and that she abandoned those kids when they were little. I've already told you about that. I've told you about the Victor Cousins stuff and some other things that are going on, but there's a lot more shit with breaking the culture too. Like she is known to be trying to railroad men and trying to do all kinds of weird shit. She's a real life whore, like a real life fucking hoe, like real shit. You said, why they saying you got 6 baby girl? Imagine that shit. Imagine that shit. Y'all, I have 2 baby fathers. One of them is my husband who passed away several years ago. And then the other one is my son's father, who we get along very well. We're not together, but we do get along very, very well. And we co-parent very well. And he actually is a really good dad. Like, I don't even have him on child support. That's how much he helps and supports with our son, and also helps with me. So, no, yeah, there's no 6 baby fathers. Okay. Like, imagine how ran through my shit would be with that. Like, that's crazy, right? Yes, ma'am. Keep laughing. That's right. You said, Miss Murph, that was my sister, just obedient child. My son is the easy child. Now, my youngest child, I got the least phone calls for him. He doesn't really get into trouble. He kind of just a regular kid, He just started getting into girls. He had asked me for his birthday if he could take this girl to Main Event. I was going to take her, but her parents something happened with the parents, and she wasn't able to go. But yeah, he's into these girls now. He's open about it. These little white girls are coming to the door for him, and he's not interested. Like, it's just really fun as a mom, just watching your kids, grow up and stuff, and watching their personalities and seeing how they turn out, right? After all the hard work that you've done, after all the stuff that you've done to want to see them succeed, But yep, I'm getting these ones. I see y'all. Okay, I see y'all. What's up, TCTV Trap Talk? I appreciate you being in the building. She said she still talks to her mom. That's what what? Yo, I need y'all to put another one in the chat if y'all remember Breaking the Culture saying that her mom is dead. Breaking the Culture has said that her mom died. Y'all, wait, hold on, y'all. I'm not about to play around with y'all niggas today. Y'all playing with me, man. I'm about to go find that video, y'all. I'm about to go find that video because Breaking the Culture was on my channel talking about how her mom had died. It was a conversation. I'm going to tell you where she said it. It was a conversation with her because it was an infamous conversation where her and Carrie Ann got into an argument. Okay, we're going to find that motherfucking video, y'all. Get the fuck out of here. I can't believe she said that. Girl, you got to be lying. I know you lying. Because she most definitely told the sector that her mom is dead. Okay, so how is it that this is why Breaking the Culture should stop getting drunk before she gets online, because it's clear that she don't remember. Let me go ahead, because you know what? I have it on private. So I'm going to go ahead and find that video real quick. Let me give y'all a quick timer again. And I'm going to go ahead and find that video, child. And we're going to go down memory lane on that bitch. This is just for this second. And then, we're going to come up with the rest of it. But we are going to go down memory lane, y'all. Okay, I think I found the video. So let me present the screen real quick. I'm not sure if this is the one or not. I might have to do a little bit of research to find this, but guys, I'm telling y'all, okay, I know goddamn well this chick did not tell y'all last night that she still talks to her mom when she told the entire sector after arguing with Carrie Ann about karmic debt. And okay, let me go back a little bit. Let me give y'all a little bit of sector history before I go into this video. Okay. But Breaking the Culture had said that and I'm gonna leave your comment up on the screen because y'all got to see this shit. Okay. Breaking the Culture had did a video on her channel, and she was talking about her race, right? And her and Carrie Ann were kind of going back and forth over whether or not Breaking is a black woman. Okay, Carrie Ann was trying to say that Breaking is not a black woman just because she claims her mom is black. She said, if her dad is white, which she claimed her dad was Greek, or he was Sicilian. That's what she was saying. She was saying her dad is Sicilian and that her mom is Nigerian. This is what Breaking the Culture is telling people. Even though I don't know how she would know that her dad, the race of her father and stuff, if her mom was a crackhead and getting fucked by a bunch of niggas and didn't know who the father was, right? Like, I don't know how she would know the race of her dad. But either way, this was something we didn't know at the time. So what she was telling us was that her dad was a Sicilian and her mom was a Nigerian, okay? And Carrie Ann was basically telling her, no, you're not a black woman. I disagreed with her. And to this day, I still do. I believe that if you have one black parent, you are a black person. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that, you can pass as black. I'm not saying that you would look black, right? I'm not even saying that you would have the black experience. But if you have a black parent, I believe you're black. Like, you have some black in you. Like, that's just it. Okay. Like, you can't erase your history. So that's just that. But the bottom line is, after that whole thing, right? Carrie Ann went on a rampage about Breaking the Culture. She was on her channel going off on Breaking, saying that Carrie Ann's mom not Carrie Ann's mom. Breaking the Culture's mom was a prostitute. Breaking the Culture's mom, lost all her kids and gave up all her kids, basically telling the truth about her mom, right? And that's when Breaking the Culture was trying to garner everybody's sympathy and saying, well, Carrie Ann is talking about my dead mother. She keeps talking about my dead mom. How can you just talk about my mom and talk about my mom being, and my mom is dead? You don't have to talk about my mom. How could Breaking the Culture has told us multiple times that her mother died, okay? And that her mom died a long time ago. Now, there are rumors out floating around in the church sector that her mom lives in Vegas, okay? There are rumors about that. But Breaking the Culture, all the way up till recently, has been saying that her mom is dead and that her mom died a long time ago. So now she's saying, allegedly, according to Pink Estate, that she still talks to her mom. Well, let's hear what she actually said. And I'm going to try to find the part in this video. I remember this part right here. I believe this is where they were talking about. Hold on, let me go into the conversation and see what was being said first. Because this was a while ago, y'all. Bear with me, guys. I might have to really search through these videos and find exactly when this was said and what was said. But I know this girl has said multiple times that her mom died a long time ago. And this is going really slow. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to look for that video. Okay. I'm going to look for those videos. I'm going to compile those videos and we'll do a separate video on this because I really don't want to go ahead and keep looking through all that. And I don't really know exactly where it is. But yeah, let me go back up to the comments real quick. I am going to find that and find out exactly when she said that. But she said that multiple times. It wasn't like she said that once or twice. She said that several times that her mom is dead. And she said that on several channels. So again, with her being drunk last night and not remembering what the fuck she be saying to the sector. Now all that shit's unraveling in front of every fucking body. That's what she get for being a low level witch, right? What's up, living life? I appreciate you being in the building. You said hello, Miss T Pre and chat. You said I'm a Taurus too. Shout outs to Taurus season. Facts, honey. And it's our time. My birthday will be in a couple of days. My best friend birthday tomorrow. My birthday is on Monday. I'm having a 420 party on Saturday. It is lit, honey. We about to be lit this week. So shout out to all the Tauruses in the building. You said the queen of false respectability sanctions any foulness that comes from those she likes. Hypocritical heifer. Exactly. You said Ninja's about to go crazy about these super chats. You know it. Niggas is making thumbnails right fucking now as we speak. You know Shakim out here making thumbnails as we got there speak, y'all. You said she's baddie. You know she is, Stephanie. You said Darrell be trolling the fuck out of these people. You know he do. But shout out to Darrell, the Godfather. You said, oh, Miss Murph, a Taurus, my daughter is so darn stubborn, but cool. I have to play chess with her. You know it. Yep. Yep, I'm a Taurus too. You said, I fuck with Tauruses, okay? You said, damn, D. Darrell cashing out. You know it. What's up, Black Abe? You said, good morning, Miss T. Pre in chat. Good morning, beautiful. Appreciate you being in the building. You said, LOL, she breaking, LOL, breaking need to hook up with Legina. Okay, she need to go over there with Legina because they got the same mindset. Like, it really do. He said, Black Abe, he sure is, child. You said, Darrell, let me hold something real quick. You said, living life to the fullest facts. You said, hi, beautiful and Black Abe. You said AFW always said that Darrell never had a wife. Exactly. Like, first they said he didn't have a wife. Then they said his wife ain't there, right? Now they saying, oh, she was convicted of child abuse. Like, all this bullshit. No, bitch. That's not what happened. The case was fucking closed. That's what happened. The case was closed. The judge found her not guilty. And they saw that she was not only that, but she was complying with the investigation the whole time. She was doing whatever the conditions they were asking her to do. And they found there was not enough evidence to convict her of such a crime, that it was in fact an accident that happened to the child. But the school did the right thing by reporting, because they are mandated to report, okay, if they see something that is suspected of such. And that is what happened. But these derelicts don't want to tell you all the facts. But when you give actual facts on them, they want to have their panties in a bunch for 3 and 4 fucking years. You said, yes, I believe she and Let Me See Your Transcript had that in common. I'm not sure what that was. You said living life to the fullest. You said Black Abe. They've said a lot. Mm-hmm. You said they've said Darrell doesn't live with his wife. They've said all kinds of stuff about his wife, always talking about his wife. Now they bringing some bullshit up about his wife, and it ain't even true. You said living life to the fullest. How are you? You said, I'm good. Thanks, Black Abe. Nice to see you. You said Dirty Danny had to supervise his slut last night. It didn't make no goddamn sense. And Dirty Danny be sitting there allowing her to get all fucked up and drunk and embarrass herself on these YouTube streets. Like I said, Danny ain't even aware of half of the shit Breaking the Culture be doing. Like, even when I was talking to her, we would be on the phone. She would whisper a lot of stuff when Danny was around, right? Or she would stop talking about stuff when Danny was around. So she talks about what she wants to around him. She lets him know what she wants him to know. You know, she tells him what she wants, but she don't tell him everything. She don't. He don't know half of this shit that be going on with this girl. You said, oh, he playing football now. You know they going to be knocking on the door. Child, you know these girls are coming for my son. Them girls been coming. My son is cute, okay? All my kids are good-looking kids. My son is a cute kid, and them girls been knocking on my door since he was like 9 years old, girl. I remember there was this little girl that came to my door, this little Puerto Rican girl. She came to the door, asked for my son, talking about he was supposed to meet her at the hill, and she wanted to know where he was. I was like, where the goddamn hill? Where is the hill? Like, I want to know where the hill is too. But shout out to my baby boy, and he's doing good in school. I had to get on him a little bit this year because he's feeling himself in 8th grade, so he's feeling himself a little bit. I had to get on him a little bit, but not too much. He got his shit together. He didn't want to be in the house, so he definitely got his shit together. And now he's at a place where he can actually play football and stuff. And I'm gonna let him do it. He said the sector doesn't believe everything they hear. T pre 100 facts, and that's the thing that we saying. Niggas don't believe her. These niggas do not believe her. Like even the trolls don't believe her. They just want to hear the lies. They just like the nonsense, you know. And her slow, short bus ass hasn't caught on to that. She really thinks that y'all agree with her and y'all are going to believe her and follow her and do whatever she's thinking. She really thinks that. Like this girl really fucking thinks that shit. It's kind of like hilarious to watch, actually. You said, I know what I heard last night. And that is crazy that she is actually telling people now that she still talks to her mom, yet she has told the sector multiple times that her mom died. That's what she said. Like, man, you can't make this shit up. You said living life to the fullest. I can't hang with the afternoon or late night streams. You said the pink. You said you just laughed. Okay. Shout out to Steph. I appreciate the $50 super chat. Let me get to that real quick. Shout out to you for the $50 super chat. You said never broke a trick. Once doesn't know the difference between the truth and lies. I knew why they only showed that one document. They had to have found more if they found that, but those didn't help. Exactly. All I needed was that case number. That was all I needed. I literally took a picture, took my phone, took a picture of the TV, and I said, I'm going to go ahead and look that up one day and see if that case, what happened with that case, right? Because if there's a case number, there's definitely an ending to it, right? There's definitely some type of conviction or disposition of some sort, right? And we're going to see what it is. And it turns out not fucking guilty. Ain't that the motherfucking shit? So all you motherfuckers out here telling these motherfucking lies, now you motherfuckers got a whole bunch of shit coming for you. And that's y'all goddamn fault. Y'all goddamn fault. You said, why, Black Abe? You said, I have to take things with a grain of salt. If the speaker is associated with bullshit, sketchy ass and instigators. Exactly. Like I've said, she's connected with a known sector liar. Everybody knows anti-Afro Svengali and the stuff that she comes up with cannot be trusted. I fuck with people that do fuck with her, right? They fuck with her for whatever their reasons are. We can get into that. We can debate on that. It's up for debate on why certain people actually fuck with her, right? But at the end of the day, and I think a lot of it has to do with Professor Cupcake. I'll just keep it a bean, okay? But at the end of the day, the bottom line is, she is a liar. She is a known liar. She has been proven as a liar multiple times. Her information is always sketchy. And the people that she tries to use as her minions are always sketchy, right? So, you got to take everything that some of these people say in this sector with a grain of salt. And shout out to Darrell for being disciplined enough to not go off and, jump out the window trying to explain shit to these motherfuckers. No, it took a disciplined and, well together woman to actually speak on this shit and show you motherfuckers the facts, okay? And that's it. That's just it. Now he can go in on you bitches. Now he can actually go in on you motherfuckers because y'all lied. Y'all didn't know what y'all was talking about. And that's just that. See, when you don't know what you're talking about, you should shut the fuck up, right? You should sit the fuck down. And particularly if your kids aren't being taken care of, if you don't take care of your children, okay? I'm going to get a hold of Daryl Moore, see if I can get a hold of him. I would love to interview him in regards to breaking the culture. There's some other people I had talked to that had wanted to interview about her as well, but I just haven't done it because she's not important. But Daryl Moore would be the main one that I would definitely love to interview because everybody else, their stories are kind of similar to mine. So, they can tell their story in regards to things that have happened regarding podcasts and stuff like that. These podcast deals that she claims she's doing. But Daryl Moore has all of her tea in regards to her not taking care of her kids, how much of a whore she is, how she, this is how we learned about her being involved in sex work and all this other stuff is through that. She wasn't volunteering that information at first until it came out about her. And that's just that. What's up, Vici? I appreciate you being in the building. You said shout out to Queen Pre and the loungers. I appreciate you. And you said hoodoo. You said Breaking's mom is only dead to Breaking. I got her out on Figueroa making it happen. You know what? But Breaking the Culture most definitely told the sector that her mom died. She definitely did. She said her mom died a long time ago, and her mom was a crackhead. He said, can I get an invite to the Saturday party? What's up, Slanda? I appreciate you being in the building. Absolutely. You going to come up here to the 420 party? You know, I got vendors there. I got people doing edibles. I got people got the bud. I got all of that. And it's legal. It's completely legal. So, yes, we are having a ball. We had one last year. It was epic. And people, the tickets are sold out. That's how epic this party was last year. It's going to be epic again this year. And I am excited. The tickets are literally sold out. So if you did come, you'd have to pay at the door, right? And it is $20 at the door because you don't have colors. If you did have colors, you'd pay $15. If you was TG, you'd pay $5. But yeah, that's what we're doing. We are going to have a ball in here. We're going to have food. We've got infused food and we have some regular food. We've got edibles. We've got all that. And of course, drinks and fun. And we also have an infused drink too, because that was backed by popular demand. That is something that they asked us for from last year. So if you want to come, you can definitely hit me up on my inbox. I will give you that information. And most definitely you can come out. And I will actually feature you at my party since you'd be coming from so far, if you choose to come up. You said, yep, it's a blessing. Yep. You said, she tried to throw shade at my mother, and I told her I just talked to my mom. I basically told her it's not my fault. You don't talk to your mom. And she said, I talked to my mom. No, her mom is dead. I'm telling you, her mom, she told everybody her mom is dead, eyes. Like dead ass. She told everybody that her mom is. I know you probably remember that too. I'm sure you remember that shit. I'm sure y'all remember her saying her mom was dead. She said yesterday her mom had passed away. Thank you. Thank you. Live it. See, this is why I fuck with the motherfucking loungers, okay? Because nobody forgets what happens in this sector. Now, Pink Estate. You hear Living Life saying she just said yesterday her mom passed away. She's been saying that for the longest time. So how is it that your mom passed away and yet you still talk to your mom? Like, oh, are you talking to her through the dead? Like, is that what's happening? You getting your little your mugwort and you're talking to your mom? Is that what's happening? Child, listen, I know this bitch is not. Oh my God. You cannot make up this crazy shit, yo. You cannot make this stuff up. That is crazy. You said, whoop, whoop, pull over that ass too fat. Okay, whoop, whoop, pull over that ass too fat. You said, my son has a whole bevy of hoes in training. I told his ass he better not bring home no babies. Okay, I'm just saying. You said, I had a whole feeling that was the result. I had a whole feeling that the result was not what them liars wanted it to be. I knew it. And that's why they refused to look it up, right? Like me, y'all know I'm going to go in. I'm going to pull up the actual case. I'm going to go in. I'm going to type it in front of y'all. We're going to look it up together. We're going to look in the case and we're going to open it up and we're going to see what's there, right? And that is exactly what was said. The case was fucking closed. Shout out to you, Steph, for making that clear last night, that parents can be charged, if there's like a mark and the school decides to, by mandate, contact the state, right? A parent can be charged, but just because a parent is charged doesn't mean if after through discovery they find out, that this was not actual abuse. This was an accident. The child hit something could have happened, but either way, it was not what they said. And that's it. So all these lies, this whole document and all this stuff, which by the way, the document itself that AAS and them had put up looks altered. I'd like to do a little bit more research, and I'm going to see if I can find the actual document from the bail bondsman, and I'm going to compare that to what AAS posted, and let's see if that document has actually been altered or not, right? We're going to do that probably on another video when we talk about breaking the culture and all her bullshit. He said this should happen. This shit wouldn't happen if these bitch niggas would kick AA mess out they chat. Exactly. Okay. I'm just saying. He said, what you gonna do about it? Bitch is like cancer. She spreads and destroys. Exactly. He said, T-Pre, all gas and no brakes. You know it. He said, uh-oh, the wigger showed up. Oh, God. Oh, God. Here go you in slander. He said, he said, when is the party? It's Saturday. You want to come too? You know you can come up. We've been waiting to try to collab with you anyway, with your pops at the restaurant. So make sure you know you can come up and come fuck with us. But yes, honey, the 420 party is Saturday. The infamous 420 party for 17 Sisters. He said happens every day, okay? Every goddamn day this shit happens. Hey, beautiful Bernice, I truly appreciate y'all. Listen, guys, we're about to get out of here, okay? Because I got to go. But make sure that you guys do hit the like button. I truly appreciate all of you for being in the building. Again, shout out to the Godfather for the $399.99 super chat, as well as Steph Collins for the $50 super chat. I truly appreciate all of the loungers who support the show and support the pre, okay? Again, I appreciate all of you. And guys, y'all know when it comes to information in this sector, you have to do your own independent research because niggas will lie, okay? All types of shit. Niggas will make up all kinds of stuff on people just to, try to make themselves look good. But again, the sector listens and we hear and we watch and we see everything, right? Shout out to Eyes at the Pink Estate who was saying, that this girl was saying that her mom was alive and she still talks to her mom. But then in the same story, told the sector just last night as well that her mom is dead. Okay, so do you talk to your mom or is your mom dead? Which one is it, breaking the culture? Like, which one are we having here? Which one is it? And I told y'all I knew that bitch been telling the sector that her mom died. She been saying that shit. She said that a long time ago. Because that was one of the things that I felt very sorry for her over, was her telling me, that her mom had passed away while she was in foster care. Actually, no, that's a lie. She said that her mom died after she was an adult. She had gotten back into the life of her mom before her mom passed away. So I want to tell the story right. She said that she got back in, her mom wasn't in her life. And then, she forgave her mom. She got back into the life of her mom. And her mom ended up dying, but she died, and she had peace when she died because her mom had made peace with her kids. This is what Breaking the Culture told us. So which one is it, Breaking? Is your mom dead or not? You lie so goddamn much, you can't even keep up with your lies no more. You literally can't keep up with your lies. Like, you tell one lie and then tell another lie in the same goddamn story. Like, oh, and just like last night, she was trying to say that y'all got to hear this. Wait till y'all hear this. She said, I got fired from the bank because I was stealing from the bank, right? Now, mind y'all, I had already showed y'all my NMLS license number. I showed y'all, y'all can look it up yourselves. It's public information. It's not like it's something, that I'm doxing myself or anything. I'm literally giving you public information. Anybody that is a mortgage loan license, a licensed mortgage loan officer has to have an NMLS license, okay? And that license number follows them everywhere they go, no matter what. So if there's any disciplinary action against that banker, if there's any type of information against that person, it would come up under their NMLS license, okay? So that if I did go, say I go and went and applied at another bank and wanted to work there, and they see my NMLS, they're going to look up that NMLS and see if there's any disciplinary actions against me, see if there's anything like that, any breach of, any conflict of interest, any theft, anything that would be a conflict to banking would be on there. Okay. It would literally show up. I showed you guys in real time that I had no strikes against my license whatsoever. So last night, this bitch just lied again. Oh, she got fired, and she got fired for stealing, and that would be on the license, y'all. Like, and secondly, I wasn't working anywhere close to any cash at the bank. Okay, I did not do any transactions of such. I didn't take payments. I wasn't doing anything like that. I was working in mortgage and loans. Okay, that is what a bitch was doing. I didn't have to. I wasn't low level banking. I wasn't taking payments and doing little small work. I was doing big shit in the bank. Okay, so yeah, and I'm still qualified to do such. But yeah, so she lied in real time. This girl she be taking so many L's. It's not even fucking funny. Like, I don't know how she don't think and how she don't see the L's that she be taking. But girl, this shit be funny to watch. Like, honestly, it really do. You said, and you know who it happens to most often? Black parents. Exactly. But let's get out here and perpetuate a racist system's allegations. Okay. This always happens to black families. They know this shit. Come on now. There's plenty of black families. Matter of fact, there's this story going around right now. I was going to talk about it the other day, but I never got around to gathering the information on it. But maybe I'll gather that information and come back to the lounge about it. But either way, there's this story going around right now about how the state had taken their children. And it wasn't for any reason other than the fact that the worker wanted the boyfriend. The worker wanted the husband, or she was interested in him. And because he wasn't taking her advances, she decided to put out a case or have this elaborate case put up against these parents. And the children were actually removed from the household, right? There's another case where the child was removed from the household. Where did I hear this story? Mona told this story. Shout out to Mona DeLeon, because she did tell this story. It was where a child was removed from the household and should not have been. And that child ended up dead because the child was involved in so much pain and so much anguish at the foster home that the child was running away. The child got involved with some pretty rough kids, and that child ended up dying in the process of that child being taken from a household that they should not have been taken from. So these kinds of things happen, right? Black families and Black parents are accused at times of things they're not doing just because they're Black. Black people are accused of shit we're not doing just because we're Black, right? Like shit, jogging while Black, driving while Black, singing while Black, walking while Black, shopping while Black. You name something that a Black person has done that has been shot for, right? Just simply because they're Black. We just had a young boy that was shot the other day, right? Like this happens all the time to Black people where we are accused of things that we should not be accused of. And here go another coon-ass Black person jumping out the window, right? To try and oh, look at this Black person. Let me show you all their stuff. That, if anything, if we want to talk about what slavery has brought into the Black race, that is what it is, right? It's the cooning. It's the mistreatment of other Black people. It's the exposing of each other and destroying each other. That has come in from slavery. Not so much discipline, but that in itself, right? The destroying of other Black people. Like, I think that is more of a conversation about what slavery has brought to the community as opposed to disciplining children. But I agree. I think both parts of that, happen. But definitely, Black people are disproportionately accused of things that we're not doing. And that happens all the time. You said, good morning, Uncle Al and the beautiful Bernice. You said, hey to Stephanie Collins. You said, I was in the clouds. This was a great live. Thank you. I appreciate that. We almost at 2 hours now. You said, damn, D. Darrell, I can spend the narrative on does document for you, but it's going to cost more than $400. I wouldn't even open Premiere for under 1,000. You know what? Make a change. Shout out to you. I appreciate you being in the building. You said her mom did die, but she was resurrected with the power of karma. Well, karmetic, you know? It was her karmetic debt that brought her back, okay? That's what it was. Karmanitic debt as a bitch. Karmanitic debt, okay? Karmanitic. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. You said, damn, D. Darrell, can spend the narrative on documents for you, but it's going to cost you more than 400. It wouldn't even open a Premiere under 1,000. You said, sure is, Stephanie Collins. You said, I guess she could talk to get dead mom, I suppose. Yeah, you know, when she puts her period blood on her sage, right? And then blows that out, I guess that's when she's talking to her dead mother. You know what I mean? But we're going to go ahead and leave that bitch alone to talk to her dead mom. You said, 21st birthday to my son, Evan. Shout out to your son. Happy birthday to all the Tauruses in the world. Truly appreciate all my Taurus family. Shout out to your son. Happy 21st birthday to him. What's he going to do today? Is he going to get him his first drink? He said, Breaking said Rev G stole her Malibu Barbie. You know what? He probably did. And he got her Ken too. You know, he'd be out here playing with Ken in the bed. That's what he'd be doing. He said, Darrell, don't give two shits. This won't phase him. Oh, no, you missed it. Darrell said he is about to give them all. He gave me a $400 super chat, and he said, I'm about to highlight it again. He said a response is coming. A response is on the way. So hold on. Let me highlight that. Let me highlight it. Let me get to Darrell. Yep. He said, appreciate you giving the truth. A response is coming for all they asses. Yes, ma'am. Yes, he did. Darrell ain't playing with their asses. He gonna go ahead and give them what they fucking looking for. Okay. Since they really can't understand, why Darrell is doing what he do. You know what I'm saying? And they can't understand it. They don't get it. But yeah, he out here playing with stealing, breaking the culture and her daughter's Malibu Barbies and shit. Took Kid and took all them people up out. Took Miko and everybody up out of there. Hey, Glow, I appreciate you. You said morning, Miss T Pre in chat. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. You said hey to Glow. And you said hey to Glow as well. You said hey, Bernice. You said, good afternoon, the beautiful Bernice. I'm still waking up, child. You said, hey, living life. You said, me too, sis. You said, wait a minute. What, Miss T? Child. Child. You got to go back because I'm actually about to get out of here. I got some stuff I got to do. But yes, honey, there's so much shit. The girl tried to say last night on the same show that her mom was dead, but yet she still talks to her mom. She also tried to say, Glow, that her mom, which we all know, her mom gave her and all her 11 brothers and sisters up for adoption, okay? Or no, she gave them up to the state because she was a crackhead and she couldn't take care of her kids. So the state took all of her kids. They took them at different times. It's not like they all left at once, right? Like her mom just nobly, because this is what Breaking the Culture is trying to say. She's trying to say her mom just nobly walked up to, CPS and said, hey, can you guys take my kids? I can't take care of them. I would rather somebody who has a loving home to take care of all of my kids. No. The state took her fucking kids because she was cracked the fuck out. Okay. That's what happened. And she lost all her kids and she was a prostitute. So Breaking the Culture was trying to put her mom on this pedestal last night and say that she was this noble ass woman, and then said she still talks to the woman as well. She still talks to her mom, still has a relationship with her. Well, how is that when you claim your mom is dead? Like, which one are we having here? Is your mom dead or do you talk to your mom? Because you said on multiple occasions that your mom is dead. I know she said that multiple times. You said, I haven't heard her say any different. Exactly. But last night, she was telling Eyes that her mom is still alive and that she talks to her. You said, especially if there is a stigma that Black people spank their kids, like Black parents aren't aggressive and abusive. Right. Right. You said Breaking better stop summoning the ancestors before they beat that ass. I'm just saying. Yo, Breaking better stop summoning the ancestors before her mom make her into a crack pipe. I'm just saying. Her mom about to ball her up and put her in a crack pipe and smoke her ass. That's what's gonna happen. Shit, Breaking better stop it out this motherfucker. You said, and where does she get beating from? I would suppose it's learned behavior from whom? Okay. Exactly. You said some white folks spank, especially the Irish. Okay, I'm saying white people beat their kids too, right? You said replay team in effect. Yes, honey. You said, wow, child. I'm just saying. You said she said that herself. Mm-hmm. But anyway, y'all, listen, I'm about to get out of here. I really do appreciate y'all. I know I said that about 25 minutes ago now, but make sure that you guys hit the like button, guys. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and keep the video up so that you guys can catch the replay. Again, shout out to the Godfather for the super chat, and shout out to my sis, Stephanie Collins, for the super chat as well. Truly appreciate all of you. And again, I will talk to you guys later, guys. And peace, guys. We'll be back for some more receipts on Breaking. And again, Darrell will be live and we'll be having a response for they asses. Talk to you guys later. Peace, guys.